Well, while we wait for the outcome of deliberations, joining me next is President of the Ghana Hotels Association, Dr. Edward Akanyamike Jr. Great to see you this Wednesday afternoon. I want a quick response from you first, Dr. Nyamike, on the latest inflation numbers and what it means for the operations of hoteliers.
Thank you, Daryl, for the opportunity. I made this point a couple of months ago with regards to the cost of living and its impact on the industry. And indeed, it has not changed. Because you would agree with me that the business environment has become very volatile with daily increases in commodity prices. And all these factor into our business costing and operations as well. So long as the prices are not stable, and the statistician has made it quite clear over the past year, it will definitely have an impact. I do know that some of the hotels, depending on their profit margins, are able to cushion some of these price changes. But to what extent can they go on cushioning those changes without adjusting their clients? So basically, it's certainly affecting the business, and more so when we are in a business that requires a lot of maintenance on a daily basis, dealing with a lot of commodities all the time, artisans and different operatives. It's a big challenge.
I want you to particularly address the issues to do with food prices because as we are hearing, that is a major contributor to the numbers that we are getting from the Ghana Statistical Service now, 23.6%. I was speaking with some small businesses yesterday. They were sharing, who are in the food business, they were sharing their experiences about how they have to adjust. And so tell me about your experiences as hoteliers, because you have to feed your guests as well.
Exactly, Dara. And the other time I made that point, it was one of the main issues that I was focusing on. When we talk about hotels, sometimes attention drives more to the accommodation part of it, but the F&B also forms a very important component of the business. And where you have to deal with such price hikes, especially with these items, it's a very big challenge. And it's not something that you can suspend as a part of your business operations as a hotel. No, the guests will have to eat, like you rightly mentioned. So it's an area we are battling with, except that, you know, the business, the hotel industry has various components with regards to its operations. So sometimes there are trade-offs here and there. Sometimes the accommodation inputs or the revenue from accommodation may help you to deal with food prices changes, and then when the accommodation goes down, sometimes the F&B, other operatives like the spa, and then some also have car rentals, and they also have to manage the system. So that is how some of the hotels are surviving. But again, to what extent can these trade-offs keep us in business? And that's obviously the challenge we are having to deal with.
And as we speak, there are engagements currently underway. The PURC is engaging stakeholders on demands by utility companies for an increase in tariffs. The ECG, for instance, proposing a 148% increase in tariffs. That is very huge. I mean, and I'm asking you this also based on the fact that you guys are just recovering from the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. And just when you are in the phase of recovery, you're going to be hit by inflation and high utility tariffs as well.
Let me confess that when I read about the adjustment that the ECG and Ghana Water Company were asking for, my heart skipped a beat. you know,
I
because
can understand.
but I had this debate until I think this morning, yes, until this morning when I heard the deputy energy minister suggest that tariffs may not be increased. But even then, I believe that the onus lies on the PURC. But the fact is that utilities, that's water and power, they form a very crucial part of our business. So as we speak, some of the hotel side is about between 9 to 15% of the operational cost is taken by electricity, and the lower percentage is taken by. So if we should experience any upward adjustment, and I'm talking a significant one, it will certainly affect the business. Frankly, we have enjoyed some stability in electricity and water tariffs, which we are very grateful for. But I think the timing of this proposed adjustment is very, very uncomfortable. As you rightly said, we are trying to recover from the impact of the COVID. Okay, and together with the other price hikes and the inflation going on, to be hit by this proposed adjustment, we are likely to face serious challenges. But whilst at that, you see, we've been talking about the use of other cheaper sources of power. And at one point, you remember that the Energy Commission had this policy where excess power generated from the solar energy go to the national grid. Okay, and that was really pushing a lot of players into the solar energy business. We were even at a point where we had an engagement with an American company which was going to help the hotels to have the solar energy so that the excess power would be sold to the national grid, because the initial cost is very, very high. So the plan was that when we sell the excess power, we would have some input as well. But unfortunately, the policy was changed. And recently at the business summit, I think 22, at the presidential business summit, the energy ministers indicated that they were taking a second look at it. I think in situations like this, when the energy companies are looking for more the increase in tariffs, these are things that we need to consider, especially for businesses like hotels, which can easily use solar at a cheaper rate compared to the ECG. And then also there, we've always complained about this imbalance or the relativity between the commercial tariffs and then the domestic tariffs. Again, the energy minister, Napo, at that same presidential business summit in September 2021, he mentioned that they were taking a serious look at that. Because we have argued that in relative terms, commercial tariffs for energy must be cheaper than domestic for obvious reasons. And this is still hanging on our necks, and that is why a lot of the hotels or even commercial entities facing challenges when it comes to.
Okay. I have just 30 seconds. I just want to ask you this. So are hoteliers already revising prices, the rates they charge? Because I know this came up some time past where we're getting news that the cost of operations, the cost was driving you guys to alter your rates a bit. And so with this happening, are we seeing significant changes when it comes to what you're charging customers?
I must assure you that we haven't received any feedback on changes in rates. You see, and we are not a business entity that agrees on price changes in wholesale terms, so to speak. Every hotel, depending on its business input, depending on its cost of operation, can decide to adjust its rates at any time, looking at the business
Okay.
environment. But we have not received any feedback on significant changes in the rate. So please feel free to go to your hotels and the rate.
And please try and keep it that way. Edward Akinyamike Jr.
God willing.
Grateful for your time on the marketplace. That's our program tonight. You can always check out our stories on our website, myjoyonline.com/business. My name is Darryl Kwao. Thanks for watching.